Welcome to Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. I am Noleen, Abel-Ameh with the news. We begin from Nasarawa State, where President Muhammadu Buhari says the consequent positive outcomes of the ongoing hydrocarbons drilling campaigns will not only enhance the overall energy security for the country, but also lead to greater prosperity for the people. Speaking at the flag-off of the spud-in ceremony of Abel-Ameh exploration well in Obi local government area of Nasarawa State, the president believes that surrounding communities will particularly benefit from the value that will be created by the exploration and eventual production activities. This story will come in our subsequent bulletin. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, in a lecture delivered at the African Leadership Center, King's College London, reflects on the emerging global order and how Africa should renegotiate its position within the context. Africa can take full advantage of the complexities and thrive, he says. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
Reflecting on the emerging global disorder and how Africa should renegotiate its position within the context, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says Africa can occupy an elite position in the global shift, leveraging on its vast human and natural resources.
Africa can take full advantage of the global complexities we see today and indeed thrive in the face of uncertainties and disruption. The decisive factor will be knowledgeable leadership committed to good governance.
The Vice President comments on the various steps leaders in Africa are taking individually and collectively to address the diverse challenges, some of which include coups, restiveness, and terrorism. Vice President Osinbajo stresses the need for more backing from the international community before the challenges get out of hand.
I think it's time for the global community to treat the menace of terrorism, especially in the Sahel, as a common challenge. This is one area where the great powers and emerging powers can put aside their rivalries and work with the ECOWAS and the African Union on an initiative to stamp out terrorism in Africa, especially in the Sahel.
On climate change and efforts being taken to reduce carbon emission, the Vice President says Nigeria is not opposed to the decisions of the world body on this, but reiterates the greater effects this would have on African countries that are still battling with energy deficit if funding of gas production projects in Africa is withdrawn.
Today's lecture will enable reflections on Nigeria as an important regional leader in economic, political and social terms, and its place in a global context that is increasingly fragile.
I've learned so much, and I really want to go to Nigeria once and visit this beautiful country, and there's so much great stuff to learn.
It was refreshing to see someone in a very senior leadership position of one of the leading economies in Africa put the view of everything that's happening in the world squarely within the context of an African and the role that an African has to play.
Well, the whole world is wrapped up in the cold hands of economic crunch. The focus is now on African countries, especially Nigeria, to play a leading role in saving the world. In London, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
Thank you, Jide. And back home to the Red Chambers, the Senate has extended the implementation of the capital component of the 2022 Appropriation Act to June 30th, 2023. The 2022 supplementary budget was also extended to run concurrently. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nko reports.
On Wednesday, 28th of December 2022, Senate extended the implementation of the capital component of the 2022 budget to March 31st, 2023, instead of December 2022. That extension is to run concurrently with the 2023 budget. Now it has been extended further from 31st of March to June 2023.
This was to allow full implementation of the budget, especially in the light of the 2022 supplementary budget approved in December 2022.
What the executive is asking, the request is to extend the lifespan of the implementation of the 2022. So that does not in any way stop or affect the implementation of 2023.
Senate passed the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Act Repeal and Reenactment Bill, which seeks to strengthen the nation's deposit insurance system. Senate has approved the request of President Muhammadu Buhari for the establishment of additional 10 national parks in the country. These new parks are expected to generate more revenue for the federal government. They are to be located in Niger, Bayelsa, Kano, Jigawa, Kwara, Nasarawa, Osun, and Plateau states.
Those days, the Kaji National Park used to receive foreigners who come in to study the flora and fauna. I don't think the statistics is showing that trend anymore.
These parks will now be permanently manned by these park rangers under the new arrangement.
Chairman, Senate Services, Senator Sani Musa said the leadership of the 10th Senate should focus on unifying the country and correct any imbalance in the nation. He stated this when he briefed Senate correspondents on the election of the leadership of the 10th Senate.
We want a country where everyone will feel at home and united. And I strongly believe that the zoning policy that the party will come out with will address all the issues.
Senator Sani Musa urged the ruling All Progressives Congress to consider the North Central in the zoning of leadership positions in the 10th Senate. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nko, NTA News.
Still from the National Assembly, the House of Representatives has approved some changes to the 2016 to 2018 medium-term external borrowing rolling plan as requested by the Federal Ministry of Finance. The approved changes pertain to financial proposal for the Nigerian Railway Modernization Project, which covers Kaduna-Zaria-Kano segment. The Senate and House had earlier approved the sum of $22.7 billion for the project to be financed by the China Exim Bank. But the bank withdrew its support for the project, and this led to the engagement of China Development Bank as an alternative financier. The change of project financier from China Exim Bank to China Development Bank and harmonization of terms, which include maturity period of 15 years, are what the lawmakers considered and approved. The House has also extended the implementation period for the 2022 supplementary budget and capital component of the 2022 appropriation to 30th June 2023. The Special Investigative Panel on Oil Theft and Losses in Nigeria has submitted its report to the National Security Advisor, Major General Babagana Mongono. A statement by Head of Strategic Communication, Office of the National Security Advisor, Zachary Usman, says the committee inaugurated on 6th of December 2022 engaged key stakeholders within and outside the oil and gas industry. While submitting the report, the chairman of the investigative panel, Major General Barry Ndiomu, advocates immediate implementation of the recommendations to reduce oil theft and losses to enhance crude oil production to meet OPEC's quota, attract foreign direct investment, and to preserve the environment. Receiving the report, The National Security Advisor applauded the committee's efforts and assured them that government will study the report and see to its immediate implementation, especially the recommendations with short-term perspectives. The Hydroelectric Power Producing Areas Development Commission (HYPADEC) is working in synergy with other relevant agencies of government to mitigate the possible effect of flood on would-be Kogi victims. The Commission's Governing Council member representing Kogi State, Isa Ozisalami, made this known in Okene, Kogi State. Solomon Ayedehe reports.
Kogi State has been battling with flood since 2012. It has become a yearly occurrence with the 2022 devastation, resulting in unquantified losses. The recent prediction by NIMET of severe flooding this year has left a feeling of apprehension on people living along the banks of rivers Niger, Benue, and on floodplains in the state, considering their past experiences.
Beginning from 2012, and the one we had last year, the prediction this year says that it will be worse than what we have had. For me, I have been having sleepless nights. The devastation cannot be quantified. Between 2012 and now, Kogi State have lost trillions of naira in properties, in infrastructure. It has dislocated a lot of people. Lives are no longer the same. You can't quantify it.
It is in recognition of these that HYPADEC is proactively working in synergy with other relevant agencies of government to mitigate the possible effect of the flood on the would-be victims within the limit of its budget.
We are going to build about 40 houses in Karara so that those people around the Koto-Kalfin area can be relocated permanently there. We are also going to build 10 houses in Muslim Kingdom to take care of the flooding from the river Benue.
HYPADEC, he maintained, is alive to its responsibilities and will not take NIMET's forecast for granted. In Lokoja, Solomon Ayedehi, NTA News.
Still on natural disaster, coastline communities in Bayelsa State affected by erosion and other ecological challenges are set to benefit from intervention projects. The Permanent Secretary, Ecological Project Office, Abuja, Malam Shehu Ibrahim, disclosed this while inspecting some intervention project sites in Bayelsa State. Ididiong Iba reports.
We are here! Residents of Emadeke in Ogbia local government area and Tombia and Agudama communities in Yenegwa local government area of Bayelsa State have cause to heave a sigh of relief with the construction of shoreline protection and land reclamation projects in their communities funded by the Ecological Project Office, Abuja.
Last year flood is bigger than 2012 one, but some of our nearby community they packed down to live here because of this project.
Since the start of this project, we are believing that God has finally answered our prayer because this has been the prayers of our fathers.
We are happy and I make we follow on soon anywhere on go.
At Emadeke community, location of the 836 meters shoreline protection and 16 hectares land reclamation project, the Permanent Secretary Ecological Project Office Abuja, Malam Shehu Ibrahim, commended the level of work done at the site and said the federal government is poised to improve the socio-economic lives of the people across the country.
2012, most of this community was submerged by that heavy flooding that came. But as at the time we intervened in the last 2 years or thereabout, the flooding of 2022, this place came and became like a sanctuary. You can see the quality of work that has been done here.
However, at the Tombia Agudama 800 meters shoreline protection project, the Permanent Secretary expressed displeasure at the speed and quality of work done.
If you had waited, maybe the water to have subsided, it would have affected it. But the water came in, virtually cleared everything, swept everything up.
The contractor, in his defense, said with the visit and inspection, residents of the areas should expect timely completion of the project before the rains intensify, as all the grey areas have been sorted. The shoreline protection projects in these communities are expected to mitigate flooding and prevent erosion so as to forestall a repeat of the 2012 situation. The Ecological Project Office has promised that more communities in the state will also benefit from the intervention packages. In Yanegwa, Edidi Ongiba, NTA News.
Time to join Adiola in our Lagos studios for more on Nationwide. Hi, Adiola.
Hi, Noleen. Traders at the popular Balogun market in Lagos are again counting their losses, said to be worth billions of naira, in a fire that engulfed about 580 shops in the market. Emergency responders are on site to put out the fire. Hengino John Adams reports that one person has been reported dead with 7 others injured.
These are some of the items destroyed in shops in the affected building at number 32 Balogun Street and 34 Bajumo Street in the market. The fire, according to occupants, started from the 6th floor at about 9 o'clock in the morning before spreading to the 5th and 4th floors. The victims, with the help of emergency responders, were able to rescue some of the goods.
I don't do anything. Everything got burnt. This morning, after we have shaded our market, from the last floor, 6th floor, we just hear something buai on top of the building. Everybody underrated it. Started shading market in their plaza, in their shops.
The cause of the fire is yet to be ascertained as traders plead for intervention to stop incessant cases of fire outbreaks in the market.
The paint floor of all buildings in this area are usually being used as to electric generator, appliances, storage.
Those with minor injuries have already been taken to the hospital. In Lagos, Hingino John Adams, NTA News.
A federal high court sitting in Ikoyi, Lagos, has fixed April 20 this year for a ruling on an application by Kogi State government seeking to vacate a February 22 order of the court on interim forfeiture of 14 properties linked to it. Justice Nicholas Owebo fixed the date after taking submissions from councils to Kogi State Government, Abdul Wahab Mohammed, SAN, and the EFCC, Rotimi Oyedepo, SAN. Adeniyi Taiwo completes the report.
A February 22, 2023 ruling by Justice Nicholas Owebo granting an ex parte application brought by the EFCC for an interim forfeiture of 14 property linked to Kogi State government set the stage for the legal fireworks in court on Tuesday between counsels to the Anti-Graft Commission and that of Kogi State government. In a 7-paragraph affidavit accompanied with 4 exhibits and a written address, counsel to Kogi State government, Abdul Wahab Mohammed, SAN, urged the court to vacate its earlier order of interim forfeiture on the ground that the application by EFCC is based on a federal law which has no applicability in the state. He argued that the order of the Kogi State High Court restraining EFCC from taking any step against Kogi State government was still subsisting. Citing Section 308 of the Constitution, the Council also called on the court to take judicial notice of the fact that Kogi State Governor is immune against criminal prosecution. Responding in a 12-paragraph counter-affidavit, Counsel to the EFCC, Rotimi Oyedepo, SAN, reminded the court that any application challenging the court's preservation order must contain evidence showing the interest of the applicant in the property concerned. He said despite evidences laid before the court by the commission to show that the property in question were allegedly acquired through unlawful means, the applicants have not presented any contradicting facts on how the said property were acquired. Citing precedent, the council noted that Section 308 does not stop the court from entertaining the suit, especially when the Constitution allows the police to investigate and preserve evidence against anybody enjoying protection from that section of the Constitution. Ruling on the application by Justice Nicholas Owebo is expected to determine the status of the 14 property spread across Lagos, Abuja, and Dubai. In Lagos, Adeniyi Taiwo, NTA News.
Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on the screen for updates. The nationwide news will continue with Ogochukwuka Ona in Benin after this break. To stay with us.
To say about the second River Niger Bridge. 21 years ago, as I came onto this throne, it will normally take you 3 to 4 hours to cross the bridge. I mean, if you are going to Lagos, you spent almost half your time on the bridge. And you were stuck on the bridge before you came across from Asaba this morning. Now, could you imagine how the people of Onitsha and Asaba have endured such a situation for over 25, 30 years? This is reality. We cannot overestimate the importance of the second River Niger Bridge. To express appreciation to our President, Muhammad Buhari, for being the vehicle for the execution of this monumental project.
What are we doing as a nation to first of all settle our teeming populace, especially the
NTA's political package with a third eye on the nation's political scene? I am Fisa Ogunfuyi. Welcome.
You have to be very careful giving space to people who are obviously sponsored to further the agenda of some other groups.
There's a lot of questions. A lot of questions in a closed door sessions. Some of these issues, some of the problems bedeviling of their.
In fact, between June 1st and July 17, 19-point-something billion has left the coffers of the NDDC.
I can say my constituency, they need everything because we don't have anything.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you. In your living room, office, and everywhere, anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs, and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel 91, Freeview channel 264, or live streaming via www.visiontv.co.uk. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
We brought you the ballot. Are you not tainted by association and not worried that your good manners may likely get corrupted?
No, I don't think so.
Personality data profiling of citizens in the country.
Now we bring you the mandate. Join us every Mondays and Tuesdays at 10:05 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. on Wednesdays, Thursdays and Fridays. The mandate showing on the network service of the NTA.
And Ondo states now heave a sigh of relief as banks now dispense substantial amount of money to customers both from automated teller machines and over-the-counters. Here is the reports as compiled by Jude Abugu.
Following the directive by the Central Bank of Nigeria that commercial banks should dispense both old and new naira notes to customers, many bank customers in Benin City are now trooping in and out of banking halls to make withdrawals.
For now, the ATM paid 22,000 naira, but now I was able to collect 40,000 naira.
We have been drawing 10,000 naira at the first step, but now I was able to withdraw 40,000.
In Asara Delta State,
Susan Isun reports that customers are getting as much cash as they can from both banks and ATMs, but not without hitches.
The queue was not much. They paid me 20,000.
ATM have started paying people, but it will pay and stop, and pay and stop. So you can see how, like I withdrew, not quite long, but it stopped.
Similar situation is reported by Oluwakemi Ademola in Akure, Ondo State, where bank customers now withdraw up to 40,000 naira.
Now they are paying 40,000, but the problem now here is about the alert and debit.
While applauding banks for the development, bank customers appeal that 40 automated teller machines be fixed to reduce the number of people coming into the banking hall. In Benin, Jude Abugu, NTA News.
As this year's Ramadan fast progresses, Muslim faithful have been advised not to lose sight of the spiritual benefits inherent in the first 10 days of Ramadan. Speaking with Abel-Ameh in Benin on the significance of the first 10 days of Ramadan, Islamic scholars want Muslims to scale up almsgiving during the holy month.
Apart from fasting during the month of Ramadan, which is obligatory, Muslims are also expected to increase their supplication to Almighty Allah and show love to the less privileged. Speaking on the first 10 days of Ramadan, which is also known as Days of Mercy, the Chief Imam of Benin, Abdul Fattah in Abulele, urges Muslims to observe the guidelines of the 3 segments of Ramadan with all the seriousness it requires, so that they can receive God's mercy and forgiveness.
The month of Ramadan is a blessing, and the message of Allah is pouring down on every one of us. What we must do at this period is la'allakum tattaqun, avoiding evils and encouraging good out of goodness.
Ramadan, as explained by scholars, also instills the virtue of empathy and helps Muslims attain the ultimate goal, which is paradise.
If I earn the mercy of the Creator, if I earn His forgiveness, what is the natural corollary? It is that I get admitted into His pleasure, which is sometimes referred to as paradise.
It's an opportunity for us to show heart of kindness, heart of generosity, helping the less privileged ones in the society, so that they will have a sense of belonging in this period of hardship.
Muslims are encouraged to use the month of Ramadan to move closer to Allah and support the less privileged throughout the holy month. In Benin, Obehiotoba Pasai, NTA News.
And as our contribution from this zone, the baton returns to Noleen in Abuja.
Thank you very much, Ogochikuka. Former British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has expressed optimism that banditry and terrorism can be totally decimated in Nigeria, while law and order will prevail once concerted effort is channeled to addressing security lapses. Mr. Johnson, while speaking at the 16th Anyam Osigwe Lecture Series, assured Nigeria that the United Kingdom is ever ready to offer assistance where necessary. Michael Olale has the details.
It was another platform to chart a common course for national development in an atmosphere devoid of political differences. And the focus this time at the 16th Anyam Osigwe Lecture Series is rehumanizing human experience, a synopsis of Anyam Osigwe's treatise. And adding his voice to the thrust of the topic, the former British Prime Minister believes the surest path to economic prosperity can be found in creating a safe environment secured enough for the citizens' freedom to be guaranteed, while calling on both Nigeria and the United Kingdom to deepen their partnership for shared similarity's sake. Mr. Johnson urged governments at all levels to prioritize law enforcement without fear or favor.
I think are the crucial conditions for allowing talent to bloom and for cities to thrive. And the first and most important, it's got to be safe. You've got to have equality under the law. I know some of the problems that are faced in some parts of this wonderful country. I know the lives that are sadly being lost. But those bandits, I want to tell you, those bandits, those terrorists can and must and will be defeated.
Former Secretary General of the Commonwealth, Chief Emeka Nyaku, and the Lagos State Governor, represented by his deputy, emphasized the importance of charting people-oriented policies.
Consideration of the comprehensive welfare of the people should be the bedrock of policies and actions by politicians and leaders across the world.
The lecture series was attended by the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, and the representative of the president-elect, Femi Pedro. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NTA News.
On felicitation, President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, has congratulated the President-elect, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, on his 71st birthday. In a statement by the Special Advisor to the President of the Senate on Media and Publicity, Ola Awoni, Senator Lawan described the President-elect as an exceptional political leader who has impacted his time and space with great ideas, exemplary courage of conviction, and astonishing capacity for purposeful leadership. Similarly, the Speaker, House of Representatives, Femi Bajabiamila, has eulogized the President-elect, stating that his victory at the Presidential and National Assembly elections held on February 25 was a well-deserved birthday gift. Politics is not war, but a contest where losers must be magnanimous in defeat. It is against this backdrop that a coalition of civil society organizations has condemned comments by some politicians in promoting ethnic and religious divisions, which is a threat to national security. The groups expressed their displeasure at a conference in Abuja. Timothy Yusuf reports.
There are delegates from 158 anti-corruption civil society and non-governmental organizations, faith-based groups, youth and community-based organizations gathered in Abuja at a one-day national conference to deliberate on the way forward for Nigeria. After exhaustive deliberations, participants expressed concern over the state of the nation, especially divisive tendencies brewing up in some quarters.
In trying to set the format for what is going to happen, we're going to look at ourselves, we're going to look at what will get the right people that can do this job. You know, in the area of security, you get the best hands that will do the job. Not because it's, it's from your church or because it's from your tribe and all that, and then you pick the people.
If the wrong person is put in position, then the right people should correct his wrongs and ensure that the rule of law is made to become as sacrosanct as it should be.
Nigerians have a responsibility to prevent, dictate, and expose any form of social ill bedeviling the country, including corruption, the group emphasized.
If corruption is not tackled, a lot of problems bedeviling us will still continue. And that's why we are asking for the rule of law to prevail.
They advised the incoming administration to work hard to ensure that Nigeria remain united in peace and justice to all. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
And talking security now, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, has commended men of the Nigerian Army for contributing immensely to the peaceful conduct of the just concluded 2023 general elections in the country. Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, represented by the Chief of Army Standard and Evaluation, Major General Sani Muhammad, met the commendation at the 82 Division Army Headquarters Department of Administration First Quarter Year 2023 Veteran Affairs Workshop in Calabar. Achibong Basi was there and now reports.
With the theme, Institutionalizing Nigerian Army Veterans' Wealth of Experience as a Force Multiplier in Military Training and Operations, is expected to boost the morale of veterans and give them a sense of belonging, in line with the Chief of Army Staff desire to improve the well-being of serving personnel and veterans.
The Veteran Affairs Seminar Workshop is aimed at leveraging veterans' experience in solving national issues, especially in security.
I wish to fervently appreciate the Chief of Army Staff who deemed it necessary to imbibe the conduct of the seminar and workshop for veterans in his annual activities.
The Nigerian Army says it has continued to embark on robust operations, which has yielded meaningful results and is evident in the just concluded 2023 general elections in the country.
The Nigerian Army has always seen the relevance of the Nigerian Army veterans in the overall security architecture.
They are the only people that would, when they know that they are present about maybe 5 or 10 meters away, they won't come near the ballot boxes. Neither will they come through to disrupt elections.
A brand new vehicle was handed over to the Nigerian Legion, Abia State, for enhanced operations in Calabar. Achibombasi, NTA News.
The world is experiencing a global trend of scientific and technological innovations which provides ease to human affairs, including combating crime and criminality. These innovations are said to be primarily driven by mathematics, which makes experts in the field to be in high demand. In view of this growing need, the Ministry of Defense assembled schools from different parts of the country in a mathematics contest to create a healthy competition, improve performance, and equip students and teachers with new teaching skills.
Engineering and mathematics field, and it is critical to our nation's security and prosperity. Mathematics plays a very critical role in our everyday life. Therefore, it is with great importance that we encourage and promote mathematics as a key area of study.
While the connection of mathematics to technological development or advancement, mathematics is everything elsewhere, and its applications or roles are boundless.
I feel honored and I feel delighted. I feel like I'm happy.
Joint efforts of the Federal Ministry of Defense, the Ministry of Education, and the National Mathematics Center. The National Working Committee, NWC, of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, at an emergency meeting this Tuesday, March 28, 2023, acknowledged the order of the Benue State High Court dated March 27, 2023, with regards to the chairmanship position of the party. PDP National Publicity Secretary Debo Ologunaba at a media briefing in Abuja said, after a careful consideration of the court order in line with Section 45(2) of the Constitution of the PDP as amended in 2017, the NWC resolved that the Deputy National Chairman North, Ambassador Umar Iliya Damagum, assumes the national chairmanship of the party in acting capacity with immediate effect. The NWC charges all leaders, critical stakeholders, teaming members, and supporters of the party to remain calm and united at this critical time. As academic activities for the 2021-2022 session have fully resumed at the University of Maiduguri following the end of the elections break as directed by the federal government. Teachers, students, and other components of the academic community are working hard to meet up with lost time from the 8 months of strike as the second semester continues in earnest. Melkat and Malam reports.
University of Maiduguri has remained one of the prominent and largest academic institutions accommodating students and lecturers from across the country with conducive environment for teaching and learning. The usual academic activities have already picked up in earnest as revealed by the Vice-Chancellor Aliyu Shugaba following his assessment tour shortly after the resumption.
We considered the time lost for the elections and also added more time. So in essence, we added a whole 1 month and 2 weeks to accommodate those, closures.
The Vice-Chancellor further disclosed that the calendar has already been adjusted on how best to meet up the days lost during the long break. Some students also lamented that the long strike and elections break have made the sessions shorter, affecting their studies and making them spend more time in same level.
I should have graduated since last year, which is October 2022. But we are in March 2023 now.
Less than 6 weeks. We are to start our examinations, and as usual, and also as we know, there are individual differences. Many of our students will find it difficult to cope with
this Ramadan. Everything is coming so fast. For me, I don't know for the other students, everything is coming so fast for me. So I don't know, I had to sit down and start thinking of what to do to make my GP good.
However, the students appreciated the school management for its effort in ensuring that academic activities resume fully. In Maiduguri, Melka Damalam, NTA News.
From Maiduguri, we take you to Sokoto Network Center, where Asmao is standing by with the next set of reports. Hi, Asmao.
The Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Saad Abubakar, has described the National Youth Service Scheme as a key to unity and social cohesion. The Sultan stated this when the newly posted NYSC State Coordinator paid him courtesy visit at the palace in Sokoto. Elhato Abdullahi completes the story.
The NYSC scheme was first established in 1976 by General Kubugawan's administration with the sole aim of promoting unity in diversity. Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Saad Abubakar, appreciated the contributions of the scheme in uniting the youth of the country, assuring of his unrelenting effort in the same direction.
We believe will strengthen the unity in our country. And whatever we've been doing to the NYSC, I think is our duty, because we have to work for the unity of our country.
He assured the newly posted state coordinator of his continued support to the scheme and commended the role of co-members during the last election in the country. Sultan Saad said his doors are always open whenever the need arises. Newly posted state coordinator NYSC Sokoto
All right, we apologize for the glitch there, and the news continues from here. The National Industrial Court, Abuja Division, has dismissed a suit filed by the Social and Economic Rights and Accountability Project seeking to force the federal government to implement its past agreements with members of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, ruling on claims by SERAP that it was representing some students in higher institutions. Justice Polycarp Hamman held that SERAP had not shown the locus standi to either initiate the case in court or be a beneficiary of the ASU federal government agreement, as it was not a trade union. The court condemned what it described as the actions of professional litigants like SERAP, saying the claimant failed to show its interest in the case. All right, moving on. It is said to give honor to whom it is due. This played out at the Faculty of Law, Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, when students of the faculty rolled out their drums for one of their Professor Karisu Sufyan Chukul for selfless service to humanity and impacting positively on the lives of those who went through his torturing since the 70s. Habiba Tuga also reports that a magazine was unveiled in his honor.
Professor Harisu Sufyan Chukul, who is described as an icon and a role model to those who passed through him since the 70s. Some of the activities featured include a lecture by Dr. Mohammed Tukur Jibrin and goodwill messages from those who passed through the tutelage of Professor Chukul.
Some of the Abel-Ameh judges were only trained in criminal court. Is his work and the work of his students and other people that is related their interest that those Abel-Ameh judges has opportunity to know the philosophy, the idea, the principles?
It was such that he did not tolerate any nonsense.
Professor Chukul could not hide his joy as he listened to his students speak on the tremendous impact he has made in their lives.
The plan of the teacher is to know what students think of him.
Some of the upcoming lawyers promised to follow the blueprint left for them by Professor Chukul, which they describe as worthy of emulation. Habiba Tuga, NTA News.
AI Mining, a cryptocurrency investment platform, has organized a concert tagged AI Mining Musical Concert to create more awareness among Abuja residents about its services. Ekemini Williams reports.
Spyro and Portable, two of the hottest musical acts in Nigeria at the moment. They headed the list of musical acts at the AI Mining concert at the Moshood Abiola Stadium, Abuja, on Saturday night, as the AI Mining team gave revelers and beneficiaries of the fintech platform a musical treat. General Manager of AI Mining Nigeria says the platform wanted to identify with youth's love for entertainment and get them to join in celebrating AI Mining's achievements.
AI Mining has over 15 million subscribers. This musical concert has to do with celebration of AI Mining products, AI Mining. Like, we are happy that we're into the business, we are happy, we are making money.
Some of the beneficiaries of the firm's products attested to the gains and urged them to create more platforms for public awareness.
You know, gets a lot of agents, maybe like people, creates much more awareness to people, social media, friends and family, because this platform is very, very, like, it has done a lot for my family. We have earned a lot. Okay, so I even sponsor myself from this platform also.
In Abuja, Ekemini Williams, NTA News.
Let's now join Mina in our Enugu Network Center. Good evening, Mina.
Good evening, Noleen, and welcome to Enugu. Mixed reactions trail the results of the gubernatorial election as announced by the Independent National Electoral Commission in Enugu State. Chinenwoye also reports that dates for issuance of certificates of return by INEC has been slated. The report.
The 18th of March governorship and State House of Assembly as well as senatorial elections in Enugu State have come and gone, and it was indeed a keen contest between the contestants, especially the governorship candidates.
Declaration of Dr. Peter Ndubisi Mba as a local development, and he promised us that they looked at also one, there's waterways that can be harnessed, whereby barges of products can come into the sea to that place, and tankers will go there and load. So he's basic candidate in Enugu State. He will work very, very hard. He will work with everybody, because all people, the wish of people of Enugu State, all of us, 85% support Peter Mba.
The elections have come and gone, and with it, a multitude of infringements on our democratic process. an assault on our desires and our hope for our great state.
The function of a leader is also management, rather men and material. So you must be predominantly judicious manager of men and material.
It is hoped that the contenders will exhibit the spirit of sportsmanship and join hands with the winner to build a better and more prosperous Enugu state. In Enugu, Chinenye Nwoye, NTA News.
That's a contribution from here. We'll take another break. Nationwide will continue with Noleen in Abuja after this break.
Words cannot express how we feel. Before the bridge, the road from here, Nasarawa to Loko, is about 74 kilometers. This is the link between Nasarawa and Loko. The bridge, which is about 3-5 kilometers across the river Benue, has been on for about 10 years now. Before now, if you live here for Loko, 74 kilometers, and somebody leaves Nasarawa for Kaduna, he will get to Kaduna before you get to Loko. The implication of the completion of this bridge is the cutting of the travel distance by about 3 hours. Our people from Nasarawa can now travel from here to Onitsha and come back on the same day. The economic and social consequences of this milestone development can hardly be compared to. The ease with which people move has opened the area, and many people are coming around now to invest in agriculture. Where to score this government on this achievement, we will score them extremely high because it has changed the dynamics of the social and economic activities of our people.
Nigerians, elections are here again. Let us shun violence. Let us play the game according to the rules. Do not be a thug. Say no to violence. Let's rise and defeat violence, crime, and sabotage against the peace of our nation. Nigeria is the only country we have. We must do everything to keep it united. We must avoid any act that promotes hate and disintegration. Say no to separatist movement, terrorism, fake news, hate speech, religious bigotry, and any act that tends to divide us as a nation. Watch out for strange gatherings and suspicious movements. Restrict access to sensitive documents and data, the disclosure of which may damage national security. Educate your staff and family, particularly on measures to safeguard information and report security breaches. Apply relevant legal security guidelines to protect yourself and your neighbors. Due to misinformation and wrong choices, some idle persons resort to vices in their greed to get rich quick. They resort to kidnapping, killings for rituals, and other heinous crimes. Avoid wrong use of the social media. Before you broadcast that false message, think twice. Ask whether it will promote peace or violence. For safety at home, still be security conscious. Educate your household on safety tips. Report all suspicious movements and persons to the security agencies nearest to you. Be a good citizen. Be patriotic. To pass security information, please call 0813-222-2105, 0915-339-1309, 0908-837-3514, or send a mail to dsspr@dss.gov.ng. This message is from the Department of State Services, DSS.
We brought you the ballot. Are you not tainted by association and not worried that your good manners may likely get corrupted?
No, I don't think so. Personality data profiling of citizens in the country.
Now we bring you the mandate. Join us every Mondays and Tuesdays at 10:05 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. on Wednesdays, Thursdays and Fridays. The mandate showing on the network service of the NTA.
Welcome back to Abuja. Chief Whip of the Senate and former governor of Abia, Orji Uzor Kalu, has formally briefed President Muhammadu Buhari on his decision to run for the presidency of the Senate in the 10th National Assembly. Speaking to journalists after his audience with the president, Senator Uzo-Kalu insists that it is indeed his turn to preside over activities in the Red Chamber if the position is zoned to the southeast. This story filed by Adamu Sambo will be brought to you in our subsequent bulletin. And that concludes Nationwide.
First elected in 2019 to represent Abia North in the Senate, Senator Oji Uzo-Kalu has just been re-elected. And going into the 10th National Assembly as a ranking lawmaker, the former Abia State Governor believes that he has all it takes to be the next Senate President and is here to notify and seek the blessings of President Muhammadu Buhari.
I think that I will be a solution to what they're looking for. I will be a team Nigeria. I will play Nigeria first, Nigeria second, and Nigeria last. We might not bring votes in the southeast, but we'll bring peace and honor. And we will bring unity to the country. That is more important than votes. We can be able to stop a lot of things that are happening in the country if the right things are done. We must talk how we can make sure we bring everybody who's supposed to be in Nigeria. 200 and something million of us should be Nigerians. Should not say they're Igbo people. Nobody should be saying, I am Igbo, I'm Yoruba, I'm this. People should be seen to be saying we are Nigerians. And proudly Nigerians.
During the visit, the former Abia State Governor made some suggestions on what President Buhari should be doing after his tenure of office.
I suggested to the president, I say, we cannot allow you to rest. I'm going to be consulting the party. The party should bring back our board of trustees or something that looks like it, so that Mr. President will be chairman of the board of trustees of the party, so that every 4 or 5 months, he will come and see how the party is doing. We cannot just leave the party empty-handed. It was done on the young days of ANC, so that the president will still be part of the conscience of the party, so that we will have somebody to run to when we have problems in the party. Because it's just God that saves our party. That is the truth. God saves our party because the quarrel inside the party is so much. The rancor is so much. It's just God that saved this party. So we need a man like President Buhari to be aside every 3 or 4 months. We'll go and drag him from Daura, and he will settle party matters. We'll put him back, he goes back.
Senator Kalu thanked President Buhari for what he called the unprecedented federal presence in the southeast, especially in the provision of critical infrastructure, as well as assenting to 16 out of the 35 constitutional amendment bills passed by the National Assembly. He, however, pleaded with the Nigerian leader to have a second look at the remaining ones before leaving office, describing them as critical to national development. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
And that concludes Nationwide today. Thank you for watching. Remember to stand with the NTA in the fight against rape and rapists. I am Noleen Abel-Ameh. Good evening.